Hello, everyone. I just saw where you wrote as I was that Dallas is on lockdown. Oh, sorry. I just got a notification for my own life, so I guess the notifications are working now. So, I want to thank y'all for joining me. And if y'all been waiting, thank you. Hi, Ann. And so we're gonna I went ahead and looked up the Heather Elvis case, and the reason I did that was because a few of y'all had mentioned that y'all felt that Letitia had been questioned about it or might have had some connection to it. I don't know. I think it was because maybe she possibly lived at the same apartments at the time that Heather went missing. But I did not find anything, I have to say, that connected Letitia paperwork wise, unless she used a different name. So if there's anything about that y'all know that I don't know, then if you could let me know, then I greatly appreciate it. But like I said, I could not find anything where she was directly questioned. So I'm basically going off of just y'all asking that, saying that y'all think she lived in the same apartment complex at the time. So I'm going to kind of go with that and let the reading go from itself. And then see if at the very end, I'm going to ask her if Letitia had anything to do with her disappearance and see where she takes it from there. But I'm going to ask about her disappearance in general because there's a lot of stuff leading up to it. We obviously know that there was, for the people who don't know, I'm going to read it off, but she was having an affair with a married man. The woman was very upset about it when she found out. So she was texting her very nasty things. And so then later on, they found they thought that on security footage, they saw his truck where her car was left at. But they were also charged for some other stuff. And then they were kind of let go, but they were later indicted again. And Tammy was convicted, which was the wife that was like sending the harassment messages. Now Sidney, which is the man that was she was having an affair with, and their last name is Moore, I believe. Let me see. Yeah, it was Sidney and Tammy Moore. So Sidney Moore is still he's still awaiting trial from what I believe, but I also want to say 1 to 2 of his family members were later arrested for obstruction of justice about posting false information about her case on social media. So I also put, was Letitia Stotch involved? So we're kind of going to go with her basic rundown of her date of birth, when she disappeared, how long she's been gone for, what was her, basically what she did for a living, what was her career, where she was from, and again, what was the days, months leading up to it as far as the relationship with him, what did it have to do with her disappearance, what does she feel about it now, and if Letitia basically in the end had anything to do with it. And then we will also ask later on after that about Letitia and the U-Haul, because I was not aware that she actually did rent a U-Haul. I thought it was just a vision that someone said they were having. Okay, so I see flute musician is here, so I'm going to take one time out. Okay, I'll be right back. All right, thank you everybody waiting for a second. Now what we're going to do, I've spoken to previous mods. If flute musician makes any more comments, you go ahead and let him do so, please. Do not block out the comments. Let him keep talking. So like I said, this is going to be for Heather Rochelle Elvis is her name. Like I said, her date of birth was June 30th of 1993. She disappeared on December 18th of 2013. She was age 20 years old. She disappeared in Carolina Forest, South Carolina. So she has been missing for 6 years now at this point. And she was also a waitress and a makeup artist. She was employed at the Tilted Kilt and the House of Blues. So the hometown, like I said, she was from Carolina Forest, South Carolina. She was about 5'1" tall, and she was a small girl, but she was very beautiful. So, but this is the storyline that kind of went along with it. So I'm going to fix something real quick, and then we're going to go ahead and continue. All right. So I wrote down what happened as far as the affair, because this had a lot to do, I think, with the disappearance. And this is kind of where I'm wondering where Letitia might have came into play, because if you're reading what was going on during the affair, it kind of does point more towards them too. But again, I don't know, other than the fact that Letitia might have lived at the same apartments. So I'm going to see if y'all have any comments about why y'all think that she might have something to do with it. Because again, I didn't find anything directly connecting her name to it. So hi to everyone coming in the room. I greatly appreciate Tammy Moore. I don't think it was Moore. It just says Moore, unless I wrote it wrong. But it says Sidney Moore and Tammy Moore. They were married. Hi, Pamela. How are you? She lived next door to Heather. Okay, so she did live next door to her. Okay. So thank you for that, Jeannie. So I'm going to put that there. Okay. So does anybody else have anything? They did question her for a fact. Okay. Because I did try to find documents on it, and I really did not find anything that had her name in it. And that's what I'm saying. That's the only thing about it. Do you know what they questioned her about, Jeannie? And like why they chose, like if they just asked like if she heard something, or hi Alice, how are you? Yeah, Haley. Go call. Hi Stephanie. Hi Lady Grace. Hi Star, love you. Whereabouts that day? Okay. So what was T's whereabouts, or what was Heather's whereabouts? I just want to make sure I get it down correctly before I ask. Good, I'm glad, Alice. Hey Angie and Jinx. That's okay, Jinx. Don't worry about it. I got it taken care of. Where T was. Okay, so they wanted to know where she was. All right. So, hi, Deanna. So what I'm going to read the rundown first. Hi, Riley. How are you? I'm glad you were able to make it. I hope you got your notification. If you haven't been getting your notifications a lot, I would suggest, honestly, to just go unclick the notification bell and then click it again, because it seems like that will kind of restart it for you if you're not getting the notifications. So as you come into the room, if you can give it a thumbs up, I'd greatly appreciate it. I'm about to start kind of explaining the details to her case, and then we'll go ahead and start doing the reading. And so after that, we'll see what it is. Oh, thank you, Alicia. So we're going to go ahead and do the reading. So I'm going to read the facts, do the reading, and then we're going to see what why she was questioned at all, and what her possible involvement was for them to even question her to begin with. So, I mean, it could have just been that she was the neighbor, like I said, but we'll see. So basically it started on 12/17/13. She had went on a first date since she had ended a previous relationship with this guy named Sidney Moore, who she was having an affair with. It ended 2 months prior to this first date. She was dropped off around 1:15 a.m. the next morning. She called her roommate about 30 minutes later to tell her how the date had went. The roommate was out of town. So, but she did confirm that she spoke to her. So, although the records of her cell phone was being used for 2 hours after that conversation, I don't think she had contacted anybody. I think her phone was just being used. And then the next morning, nobody had seen her. Now, his wife, Tammy Moore, who had learned of the affair, had been, they basically said she was scorned, and that she kept texting Heather Elvis several confrontational text messages, but she denied her role in her disappearance. So the phone record shows that Elvis and Sidney, which we know was Heather and Sidney, called each other several times on the morning of December 18th, when nobody had seen her after that. He said they had talked briefly, but security footage showed that his truck was what was believed to be his truck was by the area where Elvis's car was found at. So 4 months later, the couple was charged with obstruction of justice, indecent exposure, Medicaid fraud, and it ended in a hung jury for Sidney, but he is still awaiting a trial. So a little bit later, additional charges were added to conspiracy charges against Tammy, and she was convicted in October 2018. Now, it was rather one or two of Sidney family members, but I know at least one for sure, and was also arrested on the obstruction of justice for posting false information on social media concerning her case. So, and now we know Letitia was questioned in it because she was her neighbor. She did live next door, and they did ask where she was that day when it happened. So that is kind of basically the rundown of her case. So, if anybody has any questions before I start doing the reading, I'd greatly appreciate it, and I will add them to the questions for the end before I get started because I won't be checking the comment box as much. Yeah, Angie, right? Sounds like a couple people we know. You're the bomb, Anita. So anyway, no questions, y'all. We're going to go ahead and move on to the reading. And then we'll just see what Letitia had to do with it, if anything at all. I mean, she was questioned, but like I said, I didn't find much information on it. So I'm going to go ahead and move this over here so that I can see the facts of the case. And then I also brought out the angel answers and the life's purpose for her because obviously I do think she's passed over. I do not think she is still alive. I know she is considered still missing, basically disappeared, but I do feel her energy very strong. I think she is in a forest setting of some sort, but I think if she's found, it's going to be a long time. I don't think it's going to be anytime soon. So let's go ahead and start shuffling and see what we get from her about what happened in general about her disappearance. Like I said, as y'all come into the room, if you don't mind, if you can give it a thumbs up, I'd greatly appreciate it. It will help bring in positive energy. If you don't want to do that, you can also go ahead and light a candle or drop a candle in the comment box. So this is going to be for Heather Elvis. Her middle name was Rochelle. Her date of birth is June 30th, 1993. She was 20 years old when she went missing on December 18th of 2013 in Carolina Forest. This was in South Carolina, obviously, of the United States. She's been missing for 6 years. She was a waitress and a makeup artist. She was employed at the Tilted Kilt and at the House of Blues. Carolina Forest, South Carolina was her hometown, and she was 5'1". She was a very beautiful girl. She was trying to move on from being in a relationship with a married man, but the wife was very upset about it and kept contacting her about it. So Letitia Stotch was questioned in her disappearance because she was her neighbor. And then I'm going to be asking about the U-Haul also because I was not. Hey, Red. How are you? I'm glad you're able to join us. So, again, we're going to go ahead and ask what was going on the days, weeks, and months leading up, what happened the day of, and what she feels about it now. So, I got Hangout, y'all, by the way. I know y'all all use it. Y'all told me to get it, so I finally did. But we're going to go ahead and find out what's going on the days, weeks, and months leading up to her disappearance. The Queen of Pentacles. So she had the Queen of Pentacles energy. So I think that she was feeling very good about herself. She was making money. She was doing her own thing. She had her own apartment. She was basically, I want to say she would have been I'm going to look it up before I say it because I don't want to get it wrong. It's not a Cancer. Oh, she is a Cancer. I was right. Only because my dad's a Cancer. That's what I was saying. I just wanted to make sure. But his is the very 1st of July, and that's when it switched. So yeah, she's a Cancer. So she is a water sign. So that will be the cards that we'll be looking for to see if we get any clues. So let's go ahead and find out what was, like I said, what was going on in days, weeks, and months leading up to her disappearance, as far as the affair with him and all those other things. So we are talking about Heather Elvis. She went missing in about 6 years ago now. On December 18th of 2013, she lived right next door to Letitia Stotch. She was actually questioned in her disappearance. So actually, this has been a big request to find out why she was questioned in it and what her involvement was and why they questioned about where her whereabouts were. So, but again, once I pulled up the case, I do remember it. So it did connect. So I'm very interested in seeing how they connect now. But as far as all like as far as all the y'all can go ahead and chat if y'all like, but I'm gonna go ahead and start the reading. So like I said, I want to know what happened the days, weeks. I said she was already in the Queen of Pentacles energy, which means she was feeling independent. She is a Cancer, but she was feeling that she was making her own money, living her own life, being independent. She had the peacock. So she had she felt that she was living the finer things for her age, and she was. She had 2 jobs. She was very educated. But something was being a bit overdone, and she was trying to get out of it, which was the 3 of Cups, which was the affair. Now, the 3 of Cups represents affairs because obviously it is the 3 of Cups. When you look at it, it's overindulgence. It's like partying, drinking. It's kind of like the 7 of Cups in the own way, kind of like the sex, drugs, and rock and roll in a situation like this. But it's reversed. So she's saying she wanted to stay in that energy, but she also wanted to come out of the affair. And she did try to end it. She ended it 2 months before she ended up disappearing. So what else was going on? The King of Wands came out and tried to end it. So I don't know what his birthday is. I did not look it up, so I do not know what his sign is. But the King of Wands came out, and he is looking away from the party, the third party. He has no interest in it, and he's looking away from the Queen of Pentacles. He's looking completely in the opposite direction. So now this is the weeks, days, and months leading up. So the day of her disappearance, she felt that her independence and her life was taken away, which it basically was. So she went from being in the Queen of Pentacles energy to being in the 9 of Pentacles energy, which means everything that she had worked hard for was taken from her that day. Why is the 9 of Pentacles here for her? Hold on, I fell down. And actually, I'm going to turn the air down in a second because it's really cold. Whoops, sorry, y'all. Wrong light. So this is the card that fell out for her. It's the 4 of Pentacles. So the day that she disappeared, she did not want to give up her freedom, and she was trying to hold on tight with the Pentacles. Now, again, she is not an earth sign, but I think because of her age, she was very, very attached to the earthly realm still, and she wasn't ready to let go. It wasn't her time. I hear that it wasn't her time. At least she felt it wasn't her time. So let's see why the 4 of Pentacles is here for the day she disappeared. She felt it was the wife had something to do with it because the Empress is here in reverse. Now this is an earth sign again. So maybe one of the guy she was having an affair with, or the wife is an earth sign. I'm not sure. I have not looked up their birthdays. But again, they also thought she was pregnant, by the way. The Empress represents fertility. And that also represents Taurus. Now, Taurus are very vindictive, and they will do whatever they need to do to get back at you when they're in their dark energy. So let's go ahead and see how she feels now where she is. She feels that she has 3 choices that she still needs to come across. But again, we haven't clarified anything yet. So she might have already had these 3 things come in. She was waiting for her ships to come in with the 3 of Wands. So she's waiting for some justification to come in. And I think it's about the 2 of them. So let's see what the 3 of Wands is here for. Because she is heartbroken by what happened with the affair with the 3 of Swords. The 3 of Swords can represent an affair, which that was going on. It's right across from the Empress in reverse. So, and it is right across from her trying to hold on to what she had left in her life here in the earthly realm. So she is heartbroken as soon as she passed. Now, this is just the beginning. This is not how she feels currently yet. So let's continue on. The card fell down. So she feels like she is starting over brand new. I think that she is planning to reincarnate, or she already has. Because with the Fool there, that is starting over, that with the number 0. So she was very young when she passed. She was of child age. But why are we talking about coronavirus right now? But anyways, the Fool is here. So that is the last card that came out for how she feels after she passed. So I think she felt that she had been kicked back and had to start brand new, and she wasn't ready to. So let's see what these cards, the clarification cards, have anything to do with what we're talking about. Again, this reading is for Heather Elvis. Her date of birth was June 30th, 1993. She was a Cancer. She disappeared on December 18th of 2013. She was age 20. She lived in Carolina Forest, South Carolina. She was born there. That was her hometown. She was employed at the Tilted Kilt and the House of Blues. She has been missing for 6 years. She was a waitress and a makeup artist. She's 5 foot 1 inch. So she is very small, but she's also a very beautiful girl, like I said. And she got caught up in a love affair triangle with somebody that she had worked with. So we're going to go ahead and clarify the cards for her and see what it is at the very end. We're going to see what Letitia's being questioned had to do with her disappearance. So let's see why the Queen of Pentacles is here for the weeks, days, and months and leading up. Because he's here twice now. See, he was here at the very end and now he's here at the beginning. So he kind of like... He played his actions on her. Like, he smooth talked her into thinking that, like, he was going to... I think he told her he was going to leave his wife. I don't know if that's true or not. I didn't find any articles about it, but I think that's why the 3 of Cups turned in reverse, because it didn't turn out that way. So I think that's when she decided she was going to move on, but he brought back in the King of Wands energy again to try to convince her that he was. So why is the 3 of Cups here? Because she wanted to move on, because he was lying. With the Chariot, this is what I'm talking about, with the one with cement. It's not as pleasant as the Gilded Tarot deck. It's a little bit more serious. It's on stone, and they're not... Look at his face. He ain't bullshitting. So with the 3 of Cups, he is in reverse. She is saying, I was not putting up with the bullshit anymore, and I was moving on to a better life. But he stopped me with the King of Wands. He offered her something that was immature and an earthly offer, which was leaving his wife. But and that's what I'm saying, the 3 of Wands, she was waiting for him to leave his wife. Again, another third party card, and it was an action. She was waiting for him to leave, but he was lying with the Knight of Wands. He never planned to leave his wife. He was only saying what she wanted to hear. Now, these are 3 fire cards with 1 earth card. And the fire cards represent Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Yes, she was beautiful, Anita. And she still is. So, the 9 of Pentacles in reverse has strength. So the day that whenever she disappeared, she feels not only did they take the the Nine of Pentacles from her, but they used their strength to overpower her, and that made her feel very weak, and she didn't like that. That's why she tried to hold on tightly to the Four of Pentacles, to what she had left. What is the Four of Pentacles to her, and why was it so important? It was the burden. She was trying to lay down the relationship that she was having with him, but he wasn't letting it go. It wasn't her. He kept accusing her of stalking him, but he was stalking her. Why is the Empress in reverse? Does it have to do with his wife? Yes. His wife felt beaten and battered by the relationship with the Seven of Wands, or the Nine of Wands, I'm sorry. And so she went ahead and took actions onto her own hands, and she decided to teach her a lesson. That's what she said. She's saying, teach me a lesson. She thought she taught me a lesson. So yes, I do think the wife participated in hurting her. Why is the Three of Wands here for how she feels now? What is she waiting for? She is waiting for both of them to be completely exposed with the Two of Cups in reverse, or for him, the relationship, to be exposed, because he lied about it. He made it sound like it was all her stalking him, but it was actually him obsessed with her, and the phone records prove that. That's why it broke her heart, because he lied about it, and she ended up passing from it. She feels that she has to defend the Three of Swords with the broken heart, but he's the one that's doing the overkill with his wife. Like I said, she's walking away. She's letting things go, but this is him and the wife just being over. It's the wife being a stalker, and so is he. They're both stalking her. Like I said, and that's what it was. They both couldn't get over the fact. She couldn't get over the fact he had a relationship, and he couldn't get over the fact that she didn't want a relationship with him no more. That's why he went into the full energy, and like she wanted to start a new incarnation to get rid of him out of this life. So why is the Fool here? Who isn't? What are they doing? Yes, it's her. She wanted a new start from him, and that's what he, with the Five of Swords, refused for her to have. So he broke her heart, took her life, caused confrontation, overkilled everything. And so she decided that she would have a new start in the next realm, and that she would have the Ace of Swords, and that she would not only come into this realm more with not only use her emotions anymore, but using her thoughts as well, because she was a Cancer before. So when she did that, Cancers are more known, or any water sign is more known to kind of they use their minds, but sometimes they do get emotional. Like most people do. But again, each sign has their trait. So like I said, but they are known to be more emotional than the other signs. So I think in this realm, when she reincarnated, she wanted to learn to make sure that she was able to balance out her thoughts with her emotions, so that this kind of thing didn't happen again. I don't know if she's reincarnated this soon, but I do think she will be very soon. Let's see what angel answers she has. Yeah, they are creepy looking. That's why I'm kind of surprised she got tied up with them, Anita. She was very creepy looking. I don't remember what they said that he did at the restaurant, but it was very creepy. One second, y'all. I apologize. Hi, Rose. How are you? This is going to be her angel answers, and she's going to give us a few answers as to what we can expect. All right, that's a lot. So hold on. It's like more than 6 cards, so hold on. Let me put them in order. And again, she has been missing for 6 years, so. She says, listen to your intuition and you will have success. That is her advice. Hi, Whitney. How are you? She said to let go and give forgiveness. I'm not sure who she's saying that towards. She might just be saying that because she has passed over, and that is what you were taught as you're passed over, to forgive. She is saying to trust and that you are ready to trust others. Even though the situation she was put in, she was trusting those people. They were not doing or being honest with her, and they went to try to make her look like she's something she was not, to try to hide what they truly were. So, and she is saying, yes, she is happy. She is an angel where she is. She helps people transition, and she wants people to know that she is okay where she is. And she is saying, no, do not worry about her spirit, that she is doing just fine. So let's see what her purpose of life card was, or what her purpose was of being here, and what she wanted people to learn from her and her experience. Whitney is Psychic Detective Whitney. She works with me on Facebook, Jeannie. She's also empathic and picks up readings. So let's see what her purpose of life card is. All right. She has 1, 2, 3, 4 purpose of life cards. Talk to your angels. Infinite abundance, children, and let go. Instead of worrying, ask for divine guidance. So that is one of her advice. Talk to your angels. Do not worry about things and ask for divine guidance. So another card she wants y'all to know is infinite abundance. You're fully supported as you devote yourself to the divine purpose that your life is calling you to do. So like she said, to follow your heart and do what your heart tells you to do. She is working with children. Your life purpose involves helping, teaching children, or at least she is giving that advice to somebody else. So whether she is doing that, as far as I know, she didn't have a child, but I know they thought she was pregnant, but she is telling somebody that their life purpose is to work with children. And then to let go. Walk away from the situation to resolve it. So she is saying that I kind of feel like she kind of wants to let it go a little bit, to be honest. I don't feel like she feels much is going to come from continuing to go after the situation. I think she feels like it'll tell itself in due time. So do y'all have any questions before I move on? Slam the door at my house, Red? I don't think anybody slammed the door. It might have been the fridge door. Sorry, my contacts are dry. And I just lost my contact. So you'll have to excuse me because I gotta go put my contact back in because it just fell out. Okay, sorry, y'all. My eyes are watering. Oh, my eye is watering from fixing my contacts. I apologize. I know. Also, I need to cook. I'm hungry. Thank you, Alice. I actually did get glasses, but
They're cute.
yeah, I just feel like they're gonna fall off my face, though. I got a tiny face. So I did get someone that got me a pair of glasses, so I do have those now. But again, I just don't want them to fall off my face like during the live, so that wouldn't help much. Yeah, he said they're cute glasses. That's what he said. Who's talking, Red? That's Connor's dad. Have you met him yet, Red? Okay. Would you like to meet him, Red? Everybody else met him the other night. I think they were working. He won't stay long. He'll just pop in and say hi and leave. They look kind of like that, but they're a little bit different, Jinx. They're like black and they're more like kind of like that steel kind of material than what the other ones were. Oh, thank you, Red. Are you here, Mystic? I haven't seen you yet. That's good, Whitney. So let's see. Is Heather still in South Carolina? Is Heather still in South Carolina? I'm going to say probably no. Because I don't know. They're two of Pentacles, so they decided whether to leave her in South Carolina or take her somewhere else. It's not reversed. They didn't make the decision, but the strength is in reverse. So whether they decided not to take her somewhere else and left her in South Carolina, or they decided not to leave her in South Carolina to connect them, and so they moved her. That would be out of the two choices that they had. But they feel like they're victorious wherever they put her body, that they'll never find it. Why do they feel that way? Why do they feel like they'll never find her body? Because they put a lot of time, emotion, and love into actually doing this, because that's how fucking sick and twisted they are. So why is the Two of Pentacles here with the strength in reverse? Because they wanted a brand new world to come in, and they wanted to get her out of the way with the Eight of Wands in reverse. And so that's what they came in with harsh communication that the wife did to start the problems. And that's why she felt victorious with the Five of Swords over her behavior that day. So is she still in South Carolina with the Five of Swords? She might not be, but she's not like stuck in that anymore because she's been missing for 6 years. So she's come out of the anxiety about it, and she's focused on something else. She's not focused on exactly where she is or anything like that. She's focused more on, something else that's going on for her in her life. So she's not focused on how they feel about the disposal of her body. Why is the Two of Cups here for how they feel if she's in South Carolina? It's saying the Queen of Wands came in reverse, which means the off with your head queen, which would be the wife, came in with the Seven of Cups energy and the Ace of Wands in reverse, which are both, this is the mischievous card, sex, drugs, and rock and roll, basically including murder and other things. And she came in with the Ace of Wands in reverse, which is an action. So she brought in a brand new action to go ahead and use it against her. So yes, she didn't straight up say where she is, but she is saying that the wife did take it out on her. And he knew about it. He set it up. Hold on, I think I dropped another card. Thank you, Witchy. Bitchy. That's a nice name. So let's see. Do y'all have any questions about that spread before we go into why Letitia was questioned? Hi, Shy Turtle. And welcome to everybody coming in the room. If you can give it a thumbs up, I greatly appreciate it. We are going to channel to see what Letitia Stotch was questioned for in the disappearance of Heather Elvis. It was her neighbor at the time. So we want to see what is the connection, because her husband also had ended up kind of, it was supposed to be a work accident, but she kind of has a lot of deaths. She's starting to sound a little bit like Lori Vallow. So we're trying to figure out what it is exactly that why she was questioned about Heather's disappearance, whether she was a neighbor or not, because she was asked where she was at that day, what she was doing, not if she had seen Heather or if she had heard anything. So that's the only part that I would like to clear up through that spread with her. Oh, you want to meet Chris, Anita? Yeah, exactly. Letitia lies about everything. Hi, Sherry. So the thing, we found out about all her domestic violence, and this was all around the time this happened. So that's the thing. It goes back about that many years, whenever she got convicted for the domestic violence. That's why I love you, Anita. You're a bitch. All right, so do y'all want to go into the spread, or do you want to say hi to Chris, the people who are asking real quick before I start the spread? People who didn't get to say hi to him. Say hi. Okay, come here. Say hi to everybody real quick before I start the next spread. All you gotta do is say hi. My name's Chris. Bye.
Hello, my name's Chris. Goodbye, y'all. Enjoy.
That's Chris. So, they said hi, Chris. See you back. So, we'll let Chris come back later after the spread if he wants to talk some more. But we're going to go ahead and move on to see why Letitia was questioned in her disappearance. So, let's go ahead and get started. Will you fill this up for me, please?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. So, no, Chris is an Aries. He's not a Cancer. Thank you, Anita. No, I don't get along with Aquarius men very well. Oh, thank you, SC girl. I appreciate that.
Hey, y'all don't have shit on there.
What'd you say?
None of them have shit on an Aries.
Shut up. Yes, I have an Aries moon, but I'm a Virgo rising and Virgo sun. So, yes, he has dimples on both sides, and so does my son. or he has dimples on. Do you have them on both or one side?
I have on my left.
He has one on his left, but Connor has them on both sides. So, but we're going to go ahead and see what Letitia was questioned for. Why was Letitia questioned? Let's bring in Spirit Guides Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel to find out why she was questioned and Heather's disappearance and what she knows about it and her involvement. All right, so why was Letitia questioned days after, or at least the day that Heather went missing? Why did they decide to question Letitia and her whereabouts? Because they felt that she was playing with the Seven of Cups. So she was playing with sex, drugs, rock and roll, not behaving. So maybe she was participating with these two couples since they were charged later with those, with some other charges. So I think they felt that she was connected to that somehow. So let's see what else they felt about Letitia and why they questioned her. Because of her behavior. She was very aggressive and she gave off bad energy. She was very, she stalled them a lot. And when she did talk to them, she was kind of cold and not as friendly as she could have been and helpful as she could have been. She stalled them very, very much. And welcome to everybody. Y'all come in the room. Hi, Sam, I am. I said nice still. There's Mystic. All right. So why is the Eight of Wands in reverse? Because she was trying to plant pentacles again, and then she got this card for Gannon as well. She was trying to plant seeds to make it look like that she was trying to maybe help her move on from the situation. But in reality, she was a Seven of Cups and the Eight of Wands in reverse, and she was lying about the whole situation of trying to help her move on from those couples, from that couple, that particular couple. So what happened with the day of her disappearance and why was she part of it? She has a world in reverse. So which means that she knew there was something not right going on that day. She did hear something or she knew something. What did she hear now? Why is the world in reverse? Because she made a decision. She made a decision that day out of the two things, whether to hear or not to hear what was going on and to admit the truth or not to admit the truth. So that day she decided to go ahead and end the death cycle and end her happy home. She knew about it. She does know about her murder. She does know more than what she is saying. So yes, she does know. She heard it go on. She knows about it. That's why she was questioned. What is her involvement in it and what is going to happen in the near future? She was trying to lay down the Ten of Wands. So maybe she owed them drug money or something like that. Or she was trying to end some type of deal with them, but it wasn't ending. So, hi, Snuggles. How are you? Yeah, so y'all come into the room. If you can give it a thumbs up, I greatly appreciate it. We are doing a spread on Letitia right now and why she was questioned in the disappearance of Heather Elvis in 2013. It was at her apartment complex and she was her neighbor. So she was trying to lay down the Ten of Wands with Heather and she was doing it with an action that was not good. And that is why it's in reverse with the Ace of Wands. So she did bring in a very, very, very big action and she brought it in very negatively. So she tried to basically start problems. So let's see. She has the Page of Wands again. With me, she's very immature. And she celebrates the fact that she's an immature person. She does these things and she celebrates it. So she is celebrating the fact that she feels that she got away with her murder. So we're going to go ahead and clarify those cards. Does anybody have any questions before I move on? We're good. Thank you, Snuggles. And thank you for joining us. I hadn't seen you a bit. We're glad to see you back. And welcome to everybody joining the room. Like I said, y'all come in. If you can hit the thumbs up, we'd greatly appreciate it. We're doing a channeling on Heather Elvis. She went missing on December of 18th of 2013. She was 20 years old. She is missing now for 6 years. She was a waitress and a makeup artist. She worked for the Tilted Kilt and the House of Blues. Her hometown was Carolina Forest, and she was a neighbor to Letitia Stotch. So that is why Letitia Stotch was questioned in her case. She was asked where she was the day that she went missing. And so far, the spread is showing that she does know more than what she is saying. So like I said, as y'all come into the room, if you can give it a thumbs up or possibly share it with somebody that you think might have more information on this case or might be interested in it, I greatly appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed, you can hit the subscribe bar over here and the notification bell, and it'll let you know in the future whenever we do live chats like this. So we're going to go ahead and see what was going on the days, weeks, and months leading up to Heather's disappearance and what Letitia knew about it with the Seven of Cups. She was working with them. There's two of them and one of her, so the three parties. Here we go again. So she was the third party working with the two couple. So she did know very well. She did know them. That's why she was questioned. She had the Eight of Wands come in very quickly, but she tried to defend that and say that she had nothing to do with it and that she was trying to help Heather move on from this relationship with this man. So that is what she lied to the law enforcement about. And this actually, the swords represent law because it represents the scales, Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. So, and those represent the law, thoughts, and things like that. So the Seven of Pentacles is here. Let's see why. She planted the Seven of Pentacles because she was trying to basically hide the moon. She was trying to hide the secrets that she was part of it, and she was trying to get away with it. So that is why she was planting the Seven of Pentacles seeds with the moon next to it. So she didn't know what was going on. Why is the world here for the day she went missing? Because her friends convinced her that she ruined their relationship with the Lovers in reverse, so she felt that she would get what she deserved, and that's why she made the decision with the Two of Wands to go ahead and go along with the two of them. And in the death cycle for her and her happy home that she was trying to build for herself. So why is the Two of Swords here? Because again, she made the decision to end the death cycle for her. So she set her up. Is what she did with the Death in reverse and the Four of Wands. Why is the Death in reverse and the Four of Wands here for Letitia's role? She came in and she played like stupid with the death cycle in reverse and the Page of Swords. She kind of played like she didn't know why she was talking to her or offering her these certain things. But when she came with the Sun in reverse, she came with the Sun in reverse to end the happy home in her life that she had, because the Sun represents the life to me. So she did that, and that is what she did. So she set her up, is what I hear. It was a setup. She was part of the setup. Why is the Ten of Wands here for how? Because the Seven of Cups is in reverse. So right now she is saying with Letitia that it will come out probably because with the Ten of Wands being laid down on her, more is going to come out about her past. The Ace of Wands is here next. Let's see why. Because the Wheel of Fortune is going to spin with the start that she's trying to make this lie, and it's not going to work. So she's not going to have a brand new start. She is trying to have a brand new start with the the Page of Wands and the Nine of Cups, but she will not get it. Let's see why she will not get it. On top of the Wheel of Fortune already being in reverse. Because the Ace of Pentacles is in reverse, which means she will, again, like I said, she will never enter the earthly realm again. It's been taken away from her. She never has the opportunity to come into the earthly realm again. She will be in prison for the rest of her life. So whether it ever comes out for sure that it is her that set up Heather or not, Heather feels justified in the fact that she is being prosecuted right now for Gannon, because it justifies to her, as long as she's behind bars at this point, is all that Heather wants. So, because she did set her up. She did make it sound like she was trying to help her, but she wasn't helping her. She was going back and reporting to the other two, is what I'm hearing. She's a rat. All right. So does anybody have questions about those spreads? Oh, she doesn't have guilt, Pamela. Guilt's not going to eat her up. She doesn't care. So, she'll never say anything about it. I don't know. Be humble. I haven't heard that until the actual autopsy and the trial comes out. When it's released, the actual autopsy report. I don't want to make any assumptions on whether his body was vacuum sealed or not. So, I have not heard of that though. No, Heather was her neighbor. Sam I am. Was Letitia's neighbor. Yeah, she doesn't think she did anything wrong, but she did set her up. And I will bring Oben in to ask that, actually. So now we're going to do pendulum work a bit. Let's see if he wants to talk first, though. Oben, are you here? Yes. He's here. Did Letitia have anything to do with Heather's disappearance? That is a strong yes. Did Letitia set up Heather? Again, a very strong yes.
Hey, Chris.
Did Letitia know the couple before Heather did? Yes. Very strongly, yes. Did Letitia benefit at all from setting up Heather? Yes. Very strong again. So yeah, she was a part of it. My pendulum has confirmed that numerous times. Hold on, my eyes are dried out. Are you talking about the drumming that you hear in the wall, Red? Because I found out I'm half Native, like I'm like 30% Native American, so that's probably why you're hearing drumming in the walls. I meant to tell you that. I hadn't seen you. Yeah, I'm part Native American, and then I'm half I'm basically 25% Native American, 25% Mexican, I guess is what you call it. I don't know. But I guess it depends on where exactly you're from, but yeah, Heather has been missing for 6 years now. She went missing on December 18th after a date. She went on a date trying to get over this relationship that she was having with Sidney Moore that she had worked with at a restaurant, I believe. And she had talked to a friend about 1:15, told her how the date went for about 30 minutes, and then she was not heard from again. But her phone was still being used for 2 hours after that. His wife admitted later that she was texting her and giving her nasty messages because she was scorned. So she did admit to that, but the phone record shows that Elvis and Sidney, as far as Sidney Moore, the husband that she was having the affair with, did have conversation that morning. And he denied, he made it sound like it wasn't that big of a deal. But later on, they did find security footage where her car was found at, where it looks like his truck was there and it backed up towards her car. And they found that on the security footage. They also both were later charged with Medicaid fraud. Let me see, there's a couple other ones. Hold on. Obstruction of justice, I think, is one. Hold on. Yeah, obstruction of justice, indecent exposure, and Medicaid fraud. He ended up, Sidney had a hung jury, but then whenever Tammy got charged later for additional conspiracy charges, she got charged in October 2018, but I did not find out how long she was in prison for or jail for. But another family member of Sidney's, or two, it was at least one or two family members of the Sidney Moores, were also arrested on an obstruction of justice because they were going onto Facebooks and other social media sites lying about her whereabouts to try to distract people. So Letitia Stotch was questioned because she was the neighbor, and so they felt that she was involved, and they wanted to know what she was doing that day and where she was and what her involvement in it was. So that is kind of how that goes and why she's involved. If y'all have never seen this movie, you should. Just saying. I'm not saying that completely, Sherry. They might have not had enough evidence to actually do anything. And that's the problem. That's where that comes in. Right? It's not face. Exactly. I watched Hey, get out of there. I watched Drop Dead Fred every single Saturday night for like the first 13 years of my life. Hold on, my cat's in my freezer. Get out of the freezer. I want you. Sorry, I found food. Cobweb. That's really one of the best movies ever. Drop Dead Fred. Oh, yeah. Happens way too often, Anita. I have no clue. The freezer wasn't even open. I probably pulled it open. Oh, yeah, I love Beetlejuice, too. I'm back now, Whitney. I had to go shut the freezer. Rex was in the side of the freezer, and I don't know how. I love 16 Candles and The Breakfast Club. All those movies. They're the best. You can never get enough of those. Get away from my pizza. You can't have it. Sorry. I haven't eaten anything, so. I'm here, Whitney. I'm not sure why you can't see me. Maybe I'm a ghost. Or maybe because I'm eating, so your spirit guys are sparing you. I have no clue. Pretty in Pink. And then, what's it called? I don't remember it. It was a great movie, though. I have to drop it in the comment box that I remember it. No, baby, I'm here. Whitney, try to refresh. Oh yeah, the Goonies. I have the Goonies too. I have everything that's old, like old school. Yeah. Try to refresh if you can see the comments, Whitney. Thank you, Alice. Really? I want to go Star. All right, your snuggles. You have a good night. Thank you for popping in. I'm glad to see you. Oh, Monster Squad. There's tons of movies I can think of. Remember Toys with Robin Williams? That was a great movie. And Patch Adams. Even though they're not super old, but those are still great ass movies. Mm-hmm. And then when Robin Williams did Peter Pan, oh my gosh, that was an amazing one. Right? I love toys. I love movies like that where it's really twisted and weird. Like, I don't know. I just love that. The kind of stuff. Are you talking to my cat, Rex? I mean, Rex. Red. I know. That was one of the biggest losses, I think, was Robin Williams. The Stopfire, all that stuff. He was so amazing. Yeah. He was one of the first celebrities I did a reading on because I was so interested in just like what happened. You know what I mean? Like, it was sad. Come on, Pamela. Mm. And they say that most comedians, like, that's why they all end up passing away early because, like, they're so sad that they sit there and kind of, like, tell all these stories to make everybody laugh because they're trying to, like, hide their own depression. So I don't know if that's true always. Yes, Nirvana is kind of another one. Yes, Andrew's awake. But he's actually talking to Chris at the moment. So that's why he's being kind of loud. He doesn't want to go to bed yet. So he's being he's being a teenager. So thank you, Sam. I am. Which one was that, Jinx? I will, Star. Thank you. So, you guys, Do you remember about what year? No, we bought it from the store, to be completely honest. I tried to make it from scratch most of the time, but with everything going on, we just kind of bought what we could. So, okay. Yeah, because I want to look it up. I haven't heard of that movie yet. I don't even know where he is, Red. I think he followed Chris into the bedroom. Really? You just go to my main page, Anita, and then you hit the community part, and that shows you all the pictures of Gannon's, like how the access road ended up where his body was found, because you couldn't, where he was put, like you couldn't just throw it over the side of the road. Like you had to go down there and go put it down there. And the only person, from my understanding, who had access to that road was her brother, because he was working for the city at the time or whatever. So all I know is he knew how to get to the access road, and that's where Gannon was found. So that's how those two connected. Because somebody was asking that in one of the comments, how does that have anything to do with anything? It has something to do with it because the brother knew how to get to the road. That's how it had something to do with it. Red. Oh, there you go, Red. You're such an ass, Red. Stop it, Red. 1 second, y'all. Okay, that was Andrew's dad, so I just wanted to check it. Make sure it wasn't important. Like super important. Stop it, Rex. Stop. All right, so yeah. I think he got arrested too. That's what I'm saying. Like right after everybody else did. Yeah. Well, if you look at where they found his body, they had to go up underneath that underpass. Where is what I'm saying? There's no way she threw it down there and it bounced off of all these rocks when she went under there. So somehow she got access to get under there, or she busted her way through there. So either way, somebody gave her access to get under there. What's wrong, Anita? I don't know what's up with YouTube. YouTube is acting like an asshole lately. So, like I said, y'all come into the room. If you can give it a thumbs up, I greatly appreciate it. I'm glad that y'all are joining us. We were talking about a few different things tonight. We were talking about Heather Elvis, who went missing in relation to Letitia Stotch, because she was questioned. And from the reading that we got, Letitia did have something to do with it. So it does not surprise me, because if she did what she did to Gannon, that means that was not her first time dealing with something of that sort. So I'm not that surprised that she was questioned and had something to do with it. So I don't know her complete extent, but from what I could get, she had a lot more to do with it than what she claimed. So, yeah. So again, I'll state it before I get ready to sign out. The reading that we did was for Heather Rochelle Elvis. She was born on June 30th of 93. She is a Cancer. She disappeared December 18th of 2013. She was 20 years old in Carolina Forest, South Carolina. She was a next door neighbor to Letitia Stotch. Like I said, she's been missing for 6 years. She was a waitress, a makeup artist, and employed at the Tilted Kilt and the House of Blues. She said that the place that she disappeared at was her hometown, which was Carolina Forest, South Carolina, and she lived next door to Letitia Stouch, or Stotch, whatever her name is. Like I said, she is 5'1". She was questioned. She was having an affair with a married man that she did work with, but she did end it, and she had ended it for 2 months. She was going on a new date, but the wife would not let it go. The wife, Tammy Moore, was very upset that Sidney Moore was having this affair 2 months ago with this girl. So she would not let it go. She admitted that she harassed her through emails and text, well, at least through text, and that she confronted her on numerous occasions. Later on, they saw on camera where his truck, like, it was backed up to where Heather's car was last seen. And 4 months later, both of them were charged with obstruction of justice, like I said, indecent exposure, and Medicaid fraud. He is still awaiting trial from a hung jury, but she was convicted for fraudulent charges and conspiracy. A family member of his, 1 to 2, was arrested on the obstruction of justice for posting false information pertaining to her case. So, Letitia Stotch was involved in the sense that she was questioned in very many ways where her whereabouts were and why she wasn't being more honest about what happened to Heather, since she claimed that she was trying to help Heather. So she was training then still. Anita, she was still training. She was trying to, like I said, she did that again, and that was not her first time doing something like that. So, all I'm saying is, I don't think that's the first person that she helped set up. I don't think that's the first person that she hurt, and I don't think that if she was not caught, I don't think that would have been the last person. So, I wouldn't be surprised if she was going to kill Harley next, so Harley wouldn't speak. So, are there any questions, though, as far as the spreads that y'all have for right now? Because we're going on like about an hour and a half, so I'm just curious what questions y'all have. Yes, Tammy is the wife. It was Sidney Moore and Tammy Moore. So Sidney was cheating with Heather from work, and Sidney and Tammy found out about it later and was harassing Heather about it. So that's how that kind of went down. Yes, I did kind of oh yeah, she definitely could have, but the problem is that Letitia was the next door neighbor to Heather when she went missing, and she was questioned about her whereabouts, where Letitia was all day long, and what her involvement with the couple was. So that's where the problem's coming in with Letitia. And now that we know she's a straight murderer and has no problem carrying around a dead body for months at a time, or weeks at a time, that's not the first time she's done something like that or has been related to something like that, because that's not something that's very lightly taken. Not even nurses nor doctors get used to it years after years after years. So the fact that she was able to treat his body the way that she did means that was not the first time that she was put around that situation, in my opinion. No, I don't know where he will be buried. I'm assuming probably where both of his parents are. And his sister, his younger sister, so they can all have access to him as whenever they need to. But I do think that they will make it restricted so it's not overwhelmed. We can ask. So I'll take about another 10 to 20 minutes of questions. If y'all have any more than that, I have my PayPal, Venmo, and a Cash App set up. And y'all can go ahead and continue to ask questions that way if y'all choose. So we're going to move the pendulum down. And we're going to ask how many times she's done something like this. has Letitia killed before? So that is a strong yes. Maybe a little bit more. Let's see if this helps cover it so you don't see so much of my shirt. Let's see. Has Letitia killed once? It's a very strong yes. Has Letitia killed twice? Yes. Strong yes. Has Letitia killed 3 or more victims? Yes. So she's killed more than 3 people. So that's what I'm saying. It's not new to her. That's why it didn't bother her to do what she did. Yeah. So Sidney Moore was finally convicted. But it was a hung jury. So yes, now he is convicted for 30 years. But it's not on her murder charges. Those charges got dismissed. So which ex is that, Darlene? What did you say? Sergeant needs to be T. Yeah, I agree, Star. Is her ex-boyfriend dead? I don't know who her ex-boyfriend is, but I'll ask. Good night. Witchy bitchy. Is Letitia's ex-boyfriend dead? No. Very strong no. I'll move it up a little bit so you can see it's not my hand moving. Very strong no. So no, the ex-boyfriend's not dead. And if it is, it's not by her doing. I think so. Sam, I am, but we'll see. If she doesn't, they'll kill her. They'll kill her first. So it just depends. Will Letitia kill herself in prison? Strong yes. Now it's spinning. Hold on. Will somebody else kill Letitia in prison? Yes. Will she die on the death penalty? Will she be? What are they doing wherever she's at? Will she be murdered in jail? Yes. Will she be murdered by the death penalty? No. So she's going to be murdered in jail. If she doesn't kill herself first. Yeah, maybe they will. Oh, yeah. I didn't see that, Les. Yeah, I know Chance is dead, but what I'm saying is, I mean, I don't think that had anything to do with her, to be completely honest. I think that really was just some freak shit that like she just happened to be connected to be honest. Yeah, and I'm getting kind of tired too. So I said we're going on. I've been channeling for a little bit. So if y'all have any more questions, I'll be happy to. I'll ask the last question if she killed Chance, but I don't think she did because it was a work accident, from what I understand. Did she kill Chance? No. She didn't kill Chance. You're welcome. Yeah, I feel better, Angie. I'm sorry you don't feel well. Exactly, Riley. Oh, I don't know. I don't know where the hell he died. All I know is that she wasn't around and it had nothing to do with her. So that's all I know. I think she just has the murder surrounding her just like Vallow does. That's all. Because of what she's done and the kind of person she is. So, do y'all have any more questions though? Like I said before I sign out, just because I'm getting a little bit tired from the channeling and stuff. Oh, you're welcome, Mary. Thank you. Thank you for being here and joining us. And thank you for everybody who's liked the video. Like I said, if you haven't had a chance to, if you can like it on your way out, I greatly appreciate it. Like I said, and if you enjoyed the chat tonight, if you can hit the notification bell and the subscribe bar over here, I'd also greatly appreciate that. Like I said, and then I have a Facebook set up for Southern Soul Tarot and also a Twitter account. So if y'all are interested in following that, I post a lot of articles of that during the day. So it kind of leads up to our chats for the night. So sleep tight and sleep well, everybody. Listen, I will get with you soon again. Whitney, about the U-Haul. I don't even know if we got to I think we did. I'll have to rewatch it. But good night, Mystic. Good night, Jinx. Good night, Riley. Good night, Sherry and Meg. Good night, everybody, for joining me. I guess I greatly appreciate each and every one of y'all for being part of the Southern Soul Tarot family. I greatly appreciate it. So y'all have a great night. I love each and every one of you. Good night, Jeannie and Alice. You're welcome, Alice. Thank you. Like I said, and I will talk to y'all tomorrow. So we will go ahead and do a different case tomorrow. So I'm gonna ask maybe like baby Evelyn how she feels about the burial now that she's had 2 days to kind of adjust to the burial. So we'll probably do baby Evelyn tomorrow. Good night, Red. I love you. Good night, Anita. I love you. And then I'll talk to y'all all soon. So I will, like I said, love each and every one of y'all. Y'all take care. Be safe where y'all are. Make sure to wash your hands and be extra safe. And y'all take care. And I will talk to y'all very, very soon. So y'all have a good night, Southern Soul Tarot family. Love you guys. And thank you for being here.